Turn now to Newsy correspondent Jason Bellini. He has been on the ground in Ukraine all morning long for us, in fact, for the past few weeks. Jason, good morning to you. I hope that you were able to listen in to what the Ukrainian president had to say. We'd love to get your thoughts, as to all of this, and also as to maybe what the reaction has been, not just with this speech to Americans, but truly the Ukrainian president has really been looking to the Western world for support through, for the past few weeks.
Well, yeah, indeed he has. And these speeches, I think the people hear, the sense I get is that they're very proud of their president, and he's echoing the sentiments that they feel. And the overriding sentiment is that they're tired of the rest of the world expressing sympathy, but not doing enough. You need to do more. And so in this speech, we heard President Zelenskyy offer some very concrete proposals, concrete asks from the United States. One thing, he wants all U.S. companies out of Russia. He made that case. He also said that he wants for missile defense systems, and we expected him to talk about that because that's where they're really at a disadvantage right now. They mentioned specifically the S-300. This is a Russian anti-aircraft system that they want to get it. They can't get it directly from the U.S., but the U.S. could help expedite that if it were to be able to do that. And there are discussions, we understand, within the administration on that, and they want this one in particular because it's one that their folks would know how to use. Zelenskyy knows what the red lines are in the United States. He knows that the U.S. itself isn't going to have its troops set foot on Ukrainian soil because of the risks that would entail in terms of getting into a conflict with Russia between these two nuclear superpowers. And this powerful speech also, I think, shows that his country may not have as sophisticated a weaponry systems that the Russians have, the quantity of weapons that the Russians have, but the information war, that's where I think it's fair to say he's winning, and where he's where he's been so effective and so aggressive on trying to get the world to do more. He also called for new international institutions. He didn't ask to join NATO, and that's one of the topics that's in discussions right now in the meetings that are happening between the Russians and the Ukrainians. And one of the things that Ukrainians appear to be willing to give up for peace is the idea that they would join NATO. But I'd say here in Lviv, what we've been hearing is that they really do expect the world to step up and do more, and do it right now because so many lives are at stake.
Him talk about those international coalitions and these organizations, institutions, as he called them, that are supposed to protect us from war. It was after the last time we saw this kind of fighting in Europe, after World War II, that we established the UN in the interest of keeping the peace the world over. And he said straight up that the UN has failed. These international coalitions that are supposed to protect us from war have failed. Do people on the ground there feel betrayed, feel let down by the United Nations?
By the United Nations, but I think more so by NATO. And they consider themselves here to be part of Europe. And that's their aspiration. But also, and you look around me, there's a European lifestyle here. And so they thought that their neighbors would be willing to do more to help, and that the United States, which has been such a key ally, would be willing to do more to help. And so they're appreciative, as the president said, for the aid and for the weapons provided thus far. But they just feel, this is what I hear from everyone, that it's inadequate. And they also call for, just about everyone you talk to calls for a no-fly zone. And that was something that Zelenskyy mentioned, but he didn't focus on that because clearly he knows that that is a bridge too far for the United States to impose, to be involved with a no-fly zone and have American fighter jets in the sky potentially getting into dogfights with Russian ones. One of the things I want to mention as far as the backdrop to what's going on is that, yes, it looks like everyone here is just sort of living their lives very normally, but there are reminders everywhere around me that this is a country at war. And you can see over my shoulder right here, there's men who are working right now to create protection for a statue in front of City Hall. And you see, I was walking here this morning, saw sandbags being filled because there isn't a lot of confidence that that they will get help, if they get help, quickly enough to prevent bombardment from the sky, where this country is just so vulnerable.
Just an incredible scene there on the ground, Jason. And I'm glad you pointed out what they're doing behind you, because I was going to ask about that. It is an incredible thing to see kids gather there as they are putting up that scaffolding around a treasured statue. They don't want destruction in their cities, and they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that that doesn't go that way. Just incredible to watch those little ones standing there watching this happen. Preparation for war.
It says so much about the courage, the bravery, the resolve at the end of the day of the Ukrainian people, you know. And we want to go and thank you, Jason Bellini. Please stand by, reporting live today from Lviv, Ukraine. But